What is up, everyone? I am back. It's SC Troy. And today we have our first episode of our podcast. Hopefully, this will not be our last, and hopefully, it will not be our best. This was kind of an experimental thing, just trying to explore new mediums and media and all that. I think we did pretty well. This one's going to be about quarantine and mental health, as said in the title. But I will try and make an effort to start doing more gaming videos, because I think just now I just recently as in like last month-ish moved back to college, and I am starting all college work again. So I think it's just been more trying to see what I can manage to do and just trying to decide if I can do YouTube. And I think I can. So I think just trying to figure out if I could do a schedule and just time managing everything. So I think I'm now in a place where I can for sure say that I will be making new content, and I will try my best to make it more regular. I have a lot of stuff that I want to say just about regarding this, so hopefully I will be able to do it during a live commentary that will be uploaded hopefully soon. But without further ado, thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys have any topics that you want us to cover in the next episodes of the Up to the Minute podcast, feel free to leave it down below in the comment section. I think this one was a really good topic to cover first because it's just the most prevalent, and it's definitely a look back at our summer breaks and how we dealt with the quarantine. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you all in either the next live comm explaining everything or the next podcast episode. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya! Also, you may notice that I tend to say like a lot during this podcast. That is my bad. It is a nasty habit, and I will definitely try to actually not use that word as often as I did this video in the future. So hopefully you guys can get past that cringe. But yeah, enjoy the episode. Of course, my computer makes a noise now. I'm not redoing this. So enjoy the episode, and I'll catch y'all later. Yeah.
Anything else, Hunter?
Don't forget Prime Gaming.
Oh, I'm adding that. I'm adding that. That's gonna
Gaming.
That's gonna be the first fucking.
That should be your intro.
That's
the snippet of me saying, "Don't forget Prime Gaming."
No, it's gonna be this. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Up to the Minute podcast. This is a continuation from our first episode that may or may not be released to the public depending on how I feel. This is continuing off of a podcast series that we started at the podcast club at our high school. So today, our first guest, we have Stefan. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And we are talking about quarantine and mental health, specifically towards summer break when we didn't have anything to do, because I think now we're actually getting busy with school and all that, and it's a little less boring. So, how did summer break treat you?
Well, I think you already summed it up. Boring. I really didn't do a lot, actually. I didn't work at all. Didn't take any summer classes. It was mainly just day in, day out, a lot of video games. Staying at home, spending time with family, saving the world. That's what it's all about.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think it was the same with me. I got a job towards the latter end of the summer, like towards, I think, late July. But I think for the most part, it was fairly unproductive. I just did a lot of random stuff, like playing games, streaming. I started making YouTube videos again, and then I stopped. So there's that. But one of the main topics that we actually want to cover today was like mental health, maintaining mental health, especially during a time like this where you could, where you just kind of are alone and don't have a lot to do, and you could really start to get depressed or I don't know, because when I was at work, when you have 10 hours to think to yourself, because I was working on Amazon and I had 10-hour shifts, and when you have that much time to think to yourself, it starts to get really like bad. How do you think you maintained mental health through the break? And at any point did you feel like, damn, this is like depressing AF?
Yeah, I'm definitely had it at certain points during quarantine. I wouldn't say it was anything major, but I definitely found myself in ruts, really just waking up, repeating the same thing over and over again, like week in and week out. It was really a really tough situation because even though you're at home, you're your most comfortable, and you can still see a lot of people online and hang out with your family. It's really stifling at times to have to do the same thing over and over again. So a lot of what I did, my family, we traveled a little bit. We just took some road trips randomly out of town, still social distancing, all that stuff, but really helped us a lot, actually, just going out in nature, things like that. Getting out of the house, I think, is the most important thing. Even if it's not to anywhere public, I think just being outside is a great solution for any isolation you might be feeling.
Yeah, I think I started taking a lot more walks during quarantine just to be outside. I think just, I don't know, people say, like, talk about getting sunlight is like really like healthy for you, and I think that's true. I think like us gamers, we don't really get that much sunlight sometimes, and so I think we kind of appreciate it more when we just don't get it a lot. I think, yeah, one thing that really summed up like quarantine is like you start to appreciate like smaller things more when it comes down to it, because like even just like going out with your friends, you kind of take it for granted when you like could do it at any time.
Or going out to eat.
Yeah.
Like, when was the last time you were at a restaurant? Can you even remember?
I did go out to dinner for my birthday, so like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
but like,
sorry, that wasn't too long ago.
But it was still weird, I guess, because it was all outdoor, and then people kind of awkwardly stare at you for some reason. Like, I feel like every time I've been out to eat during quarantine, there's just this mild tension between like tables where like people just stare at each other like, are you good, or like you got coronavirus or something. So that was,
yeah,
I don't know, it's an interesting dynamic change when you go out eating, but I mean, like,
public too,
Vegas,
I feel like, oh, sorry,
Vegas hasn't been too bad in terms of like places closing down, like at least compared to LA, because I think right now, I think LA is just starting to open up like barbershops and like some restaurants, some more restaurants.
Didn't Vegas close stuff again at the beginning of this month, or was it last month?
I know they kind of like stepped back. They took a step back,
Yeah,
but
but it wasn't like closing stuff or anything like that. Like the casinos are still open, right?
I'm not sure about casinos, but I know movie theaters are open. Cause that new X-Men or kind of new X-Men movie that got delayed for like 2 years, the New Mutants one. That one just came out like this past Friday, and people in LA literally took road trips to Las Vegas just to watch like that movie.
No way.
Yeah, but it is weird because like, what's it called? The movie theaters actually like are doing a pretty good job, I think, keeping it clean and keeping a distance from what I saw. Because I think I saw a video of someone like going to watch the new movie, and then like they separated like every 2 or 3 seats, and then hand sanitizer was literally at every corner. And this was at Town Square. This was the Town Square movie theater. So I think.
Yeah, but if I reach for my drink, what if I drink hand sanitizer instead?
Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know if they had hand sanitizer in the.
I don't know if I'd be able to tell the difference.
True, it's all dark and all that. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so movie theaters are slowly opening, and LA here, I know they're starting to do some drive-in theaters, which is actually a good solution to that. But who knows? Because I don't know if movies are exactly a priority in terms of like opening stuff. But take it one step at a time.
I noticed that people are just like extremely not like paranoid, but just everyone's like cautious. It's kind of interesting to see like the people who actually care about social distancing versus the people who are like walking around without their masks, or like not wearing it, or just not social distancing at all.
Yeah, actually, how has it been like over at Rochester, like with everything?
Yeah, so I mean, on campus, everyone's required to wear a mask, and like if you get not like get caught, but if you're seen without one, there are facilities employees who have like stuff on them. Basically, you have to wear a mask everywhere. But out in public, outside of the campus, there's a lot less people wearing masks than I actually thought I would see. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the problem here is in upstate New York, there haven't been a lot of cases actually in total. So our county has been pretty like isolated from the rest of the pandemic. So with all these like new university students coming in, a lot of people are concerned that like we'll get hit with a huge wave, which the school has been very good with like keeping it under control and everything like that. We actually did have a couple of cases in like the house right next to mine, but they got isolated before they moved in or anything like that. So we kind of got saved right there. But there were like 5 cases out of the, what was it, like 3,000 students that moved in the past 2 weeks. So it's been managed pretty well, actually, considering everything that the university has done up to this point. But I think at this point, it's just trusting everyone to do what they're supposed to do, which it's not going to happen on like a university campus. I've already seen so many kids going out. Like I live in a frat house, and there have been so many people invited over already. We're like very, very close to getting another strike. So the thing is, like, you have to trust people with this pandemic to do the right thing, but you know for certain, especially after 6 months of being in quarantine, for a lot of these college-age kids, like, they're not going to stay inside.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Like, at least compared to here. Like, there was getting so many cases. It's so bad.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I'm
What are you guys up to?
LA Times article on USC increased cases.
I know the New York Times has this map where they track all the coronavirus cases per university.
Yeah. So on this LA Times article, in the past 7 days, and this was written exactly 1 week ago, so the first week of classes, 43 cases have been identified and more than 100 students placed in a 14-day quarantine. And yeah, I think it's still increasing. So yeah, that's what's going on here. It's pretty bad too, cause like I don't know, I live on a fairly popular street for like parties, but I've been hearing like a lot of noise every weekend, or yeah, every weekend. It's pretty interesting. Like I'm not gonna lie, because it definitely sounds like it's not less than 10 people, which is I think the cutoff, and yeah, it's just been weird out here. People haven't really been smart about it, I guess, and it's kind of crazy because I'm kind of worried about going out just because of the increased cases, and then like my parents have been like telling me don't go out that much, you know, like make sure that if you're hanging out with anyone they're like negative and all that. So
yeah, it's definitely better to play it safe.
Yeah, and a lot of people do have. I've seen a lot more people put on masks like the past week. I think before that, a lot of people are just going on walks and like runs haven't been wearing masks, but I guess that makes sense just because like kind of running on the block, and then if you need to, you could just like go 6 feet apart from anyone who's like coming towards you. So it hasn't been bad. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. Like or well, I don't know, because
Have you
I am
have
in
you
LA.
been on campus yet?
I've been on campus 3 times total, I
Have
think.
you noticed like a lot more people outside?
No one's actually like no one usually goes to campus. Like when I go on campus, there's like a lot less people than there are like outside.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of quads and like open areas on our campus.
Mm-hmm.
So literally just the whole freshman class, because they can't meet up in their dorms
Yeah.
or anything like that. They like basically always have to be outside unless they're in their room. So just so many people the first week here, just outside, not social distancing, not wearing masks, anything like that, which was kind of interesting to see actually, because we had just gone on campus and nobody had gotten their test back. So I was sort of looking at this and I was like, wow, we could just get like 100 cases right here. Like this would be it.
Yeah. I don't. At least what I've seen, there's not a lot of people who like hang out at the quads. Like I've hung out at the quad, like after the quads, like I think twice, and then the other time I went on campus was to get a test, and then now they're like advising everyone to get tests weekly, which is interesting.
Yeah, we have optional testing now.
I don't know. I feel like weekly tests are bad to like for your nose. Because
it's just so unnecessary.
They just scrape
like,
the shit out of it.
Where you have to get a test every week, unless you're like working in the fucking ICU.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do much. I just kind of like stay in my apartment for the most part, unless I like want to go out to like grab groceries or like a meal. But I usually just go takeout anyways, so
Yeah.
it's not that bad. I think the biggest risk I have right now is like from Amazon packages. Like
You can get corona off those?
I think so. That's what my aunt said. They're like they've been getting a lot of cases in like the distribution centers. So like technically, if someone has the virus and like they pack something,
They cough on this shit.
yeah, like the germs are still gonna be there. So they're like just wait about 24 hours before you like open it, so it's like better.
Just leave your package out in the sun.
You just toast your package real quick in the oven.
Yeah.
Or you could just like spray it, but yeah. I think the scariest, bro. When was it? I think it was a week ago. The scariest thing. I was with my grandmother, and so she owns like apartment buildings, and she asked me to help her check all the smoke detectors in all the units, like in the building, and so I had to knock on every door and then go in everyone's like apartment to like check the smoke detector if it was working for the insurance company. I think that was really scary because like I'm literally walking to people's houses or apartments and I don't know if they're like sick or not, and
Yeah.
I have
That's
to
really scary.
go in every room because there's a smoke detector in like every room. So I mean, one
You
person.
might as well be like, hello, I'm here to pick up all your germs in your house.
Yeah. I mean, one person sprayed me with like rubbing alcohol, like with the spray can. I don't know if that does anything, but like,
Like they sprayed your entire body with it?
they sprayed my shoes, my arms, and yeah.
I mean, if you touch anything, just hand sanitizer is good enough.
Yeah, I had hand
But you gotta-
sanitizer like literally in my pocket every time I just like went in, or every time I left an apartment, I was like, all right, time to
You gotta keep it on you.
yeah,
At all
stay strapped, as they say.
That's a fact.
Exactly.
And essential school supplies, 2020. Bag of masks.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. And tennis ball.
Tennis ball. Yeah, just in case.
Just in case there's a dog.
With the virus, you just throw it.
Yeah, you got to distract them.
Yeah. So, wait, are your classes online or hybrid?
I have 2 online classes and 2 in-person classes.
Dang, must be nice. I'm all online.
The in-person sections are like whatever. One of them is a lab, and the other one is like a discussion based thing for my major class.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's like molecular biology, which is really cool stuff. But the way it's set up is just so unsatisfying. Like, I'm really glad that I didn't take any hard classes this semester because the way most of these professors have set up their online schedules just shows like nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they're kind of. I feel like, or well, at least I think our faculty is pretty prepared just because they were specifically prepared to go back online.
Yeah,
so it
that's
isn't
good.
bad. But like in your in-person classes, do you, like they have like the social distancing like measures and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And some of them, some of the people in my class actually don't aren't on campus, so we have people on Zoom like with us in our in-person sessions too, which is really strange because if someone on Zoom like asks a question, it's really like 5 seconds delayed to everyone else, so you're just sitting there waiting for the delay on it while the rest of the class just like listens to this tin can talk.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah, it really makes for like just slow classes and just like super boring in general.
That's interesting. Like, I don't know. Is it worth having in-person classes if like they're conducted
I would
that
say
way
so.
though? Yeah.
I would say so just because I'm really like a visual learner. If it's not like in front of me, like in diagram form or someone's demonstrating it, it's really hard for me to grasp
That's true.
versus just getting it out of a book. So personally for me, I still see the benefit in it, but there's definitely like a lot more hindrances this semester.
Dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even band is online for me.
Wait, are you guys doing games over Zoom?
No. What? Oh, they canceled the football season.
Oh
or
wow,
like they
really?
didn't cancel it. They said they postponed it.
To like later in the year,
I have no idea. I think they
or just
they're
indefinitely?
thinking about doing it in November, but that's a problem because like by that time we'll be done with class because we're supposed to end by Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm. Same.
and I don't know how many people want to stay during like break, and but I seriously doubt that they're gonna start it up by November, just given everything going on. So I'm hoping for like a spring semester type season, but who knows?
Yeah, it's pretty much just go next semester for like most things.
Yeah, I don't know how close we are to a cure, so because I feel like that's the only thing that's gonna.
Vaccine by the end of this year, fingers crossed.
Yeah, this year has been rough. Maybe
It's gone by surprisingly fast though.
it has. It has. We're what? It's already. It's already pretty much September, like September
Yeah, we are like
tomorrow.
3 quarters through this year.
So we have 3 months just to get through that.
Yep.
Then maybe 2021 will be better. Who knows?
Yeah, we can only hope.
I guess since we're on the topic of 2020 sucking, did you? I'm assuming you heard the news about
I did actually, and I watched the tribute last night. It was very, very emotional.
dude. I don't. I can't. Like when I found out what Friday night,
It's so sad,
I was like, what the fuck?
especially knowing since he had it since 2016, like literally starting Black Panther, Avengers, all that shit.
Oh yeah, and like
Crazy.
yeah, I think like once I read about it and like found out, it's crazy because pretty recently he started doing like more and more movies, and like now you think about it, is like it's probably because he like knew it was gonna like go soon, so like he's trying to do as much as he could, which is like crazy
Yeah,
because no one knew, and yeah, it was rough.
yeah, for sure. It's good to know that he just kept going like that instead of giving up.
Yeah,
Like literally right up until the end. Just a world class actor.
yeah, and then or how did you find out, or like did you just see it on the news or?
Yeah, my friend told me
Mm.
like 5 minutes after it happened. I was just chilling, playing video games, and he told me. I like didn't believe it at first. He
Yeah,
was like, "Bro, Chadwick Boseman died." I was like, "No, you're fucking with me." Like I thought he was so much younger than he actually was too.
yeah, he definitely didn't look his age.
Especially hearing about that and seeing that he was what 40 years old. I thought he was like early 30s at least. It's
Yeah,
insane.
and then or well, how I found out, so Friday night I just like looked on Twitter, and then I saw that his name was trending number one. And then what Twitter usually does is like trending with, and then it shows like a bunch of like other words. And then
Hmm.
so the words was like RIP and Black Panther 2, right? So at that point, oh, that was my computer by the way. Uh, at that point, I was like, okay, like maybe Black Panther 2 got delayed or something, because like COVID-19. And then like I clicked on it just to see what it was about, and it was like, holy shit. Like my heart literally
Yeah,
dropped because I was not
horrible.
expecting it. And yeah, so yeah, 2020 do be rough,
Yeah,
but we're almost done. Just gotta power through. So I guess we could loop back to mental health because we're talking about
yeah, that
so
is a good segue actually.
yeah, so like honestly, I think because I've talked to a lot of people kind of about losing motivation towards like points of this year. It's just like, what do you think helps you find motivation? Like, I know for me, like, I think it's more, now some movies have that like motivation thing where like if you watch it you just feel motivated to do some like do
Yeah,
stuff, and then
yeah,
music is pretty big.
definitely. Or you listen to your favorite inspirational speech. Maybe
Yeah,
that's just me.
yeah, those are good. And then like even like talking to people sometimes like could really,
I was gonna say actually, what does it for me is just knowing that there are other people who feel the same way that I do.
yeah,
People who are saying, "Oh, I'm stressed," or "Oh, I'm bored," or "This has gone on too long. Like, why do I have to exist in 2020 when this shit is going on?" Like, just knowing that other people are responding the same way that you do is really comforting. Honestly, just knowing that it's okay to not be at your most productive. It's okay to like say that you're not okay as well. Just knowing that other people are there to help you get through it.
yeah. And I think just having people that you could trust when you talk to is just a huge thing. And
Hmm.
I think I read something. It was like, even though like this year is really like sucks, like once like if we get like when we get through it, like you're gonna be stronger, like than you were at the beginning of the year. Which obviously, like, I guess it's all about perspective, where
Hmm.
you kind of look at it. Well, you don't look at it as, oh man, this sucks so much. You kind of have to like think about it in a way where you're like, this does suck, but hey, like at the end of it, like we're all gonna be better for it. And so just like it's all about perspective, I think. Just turning it to
I agree.
where you could like express confidence and exude. I don't know. It starts to sound like very like yin yang like movie type thing, but like you start to exude like light instead of like dark. Like there's a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no,
there's a
definitely, I
lot that
agree.
goes into that.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, I think because during quarantine, I've like read a lot of like books on mental or like kind of mental health, but like seriously, it's all about how you think of things. Like you could it's always goes back to like, is the glass half empty or half full? Like
Hmm.
how are you gonna, or what are you gonna do about it? Like
Yeah,
if
true.
you stay active and like try and like actively change things for the better, then you're you're a lot you're gonna be better off than like just like sitting around passively and like allowing things to get worse. Because if you make the effort to make things better, you can't really say that you didn't try.
That's true. I like that term too. Allowing things to get worse. It's basically like sums up like sort of like my lifestyle and my mindset during quarantine, which was like I wasn't really doing anything proactive, like you were saying. Wasn't really like staying active with school. Wasn't really advancing my career in any meaningful way or making connections to do something like that, or just picking up any new skills. Like I was just allowing myself to play video games, allowing myself to, not necessarily slack off, but just, take the quarantine as I wanted it to.
Yeah, because if you make I feel like if you make an attempt to like actually be like somewhat active too, you can't like tell yourself, dang, like I'm so unproductive and I just won't, and I've been like lying on my bed all day, like all day, every
Right.
day. Like I think even if you like do stuff and it may not be as like beneficial to like your future, your career, even if you like do like small stuff like I don't know, like do painting or like walking around, like cooking, like it's still you're doing stuff, you know, you're not like laying around, and you could tell yourself that. And I think
Yeah, exactly. And it's a gateway to more productive things as well.
yeah, exactly.
If I can do this, what can't I do? You know?
Yeah. And I guess it's kind of like goes into everything kind of going on too, like bad things, yeah, are happening in the world, but there are like a lot of things you can do to like help it, like even though it may not instantly solve all the problems in the world. Like for example, like all those small business owners who kind of like got hurt through like all the rioting and all that. Like it's, even though you won't make a big difference by like donating what, like $10, at least you're doing something, you know.
That's true. It's very true. It's better than doing nothing for sure.
Yeah, I think I think it was an actual Star Wars quote. I think it was from episode 1, but like I think it was like Anakin's mother was like the biggest problem in the universe is that no one helps each other. And like
Yeah.
it is like it does take work to help other people, but like you can't just, or it's better than just sitting there and not helping them, you know.
Right.
And I
And
think
most of the time,
that's
it's worth it.
mhm. I think that's just something that I definitely need to get better doing, because I feel like more times than not I usually sit around, like in an event that I see something that's actually just wrong. I wouldn't like act out on it usually.
Hmm.
And that's
Yeah, I agree with that. I can usually be like complacent in a lot of situations where I shouldn't be.
yeah, and I think it kind of like loops around to the point where what makes quarantine and maintaining mental health, or what doesn't help our mental health, is like not doing anything and just kind of like sitting. Like I think obviously like you shouldn't strive to be active like all the time, but like obviously like sitting down in your bed and watching YouTube videos from time to time is like fine, but just going in to quarantine with the mindset that you want to be better, like, or you want to improve yourself in at least one
Hmm.
aspect every day, I think it definitely helps maintain mental health during quarantine and even after
Yeah,
quarantine, you know. Like
I agree.
we don't need a pandemic to like be better every day.
Yeah, that's just good life advice.
Yeah, it's just in this context I think it just kind of shows itself more than without it. So
Hmm. True. I've noticed myself becoming a lot more of like a neat freak, actually. Like, I bought a ton of cleaning supplies right when I got into my dorm, and I've just been like cleaning shit like crazy. It's like a bad habit, low key, but I think it's acceptable given the circumstances. Like, I literally just like hand sanitizer every 10 minutes, every time I touch something, mask always. I actually took it off because I didn't want to look bad for the camera, but this is how it is. Like, I had something on, so it looks bad. But
wait, do you have to wear a mask like in the stacks even if like no one's near you?
if there's an employee, I gotta put it on.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep, masks everywhere except for my room. I even have to wear masks in my own frat house. It's insane.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Like I don't know. I feel like something, or like I was talking about this with someone, but uh just like this dynamic, like the dynamic between roommates, like like not completely changed, but it's kind of changed too, because
You think so?
because if you're living with someone, right, you have to
Mm-hmm.
like think about not just like what you do, but also like what they do, you know? Like you have to think about
Yeah.
like, oh, if they go out, like they might like get like coronavirus because there's like it's just out there, you know? So
Yeah. True.
you kind of have to like balance that. You have to like it's more like standards that you have to like talk about with each other. Cuz you know like
It's a very trusted. You
normally
have to
when
trust everyone around you.
yeah, cuz normally when like you're at the roommate, you'll be like, "Oh, oh yeah, like I usually like to sleep at this time, so if just like not let's not have people over at like this time," or like standards like that, like the normal stuff. But now we have to
Hmm.
be like, oh, like
There's no people allowed ever.
yeah, and it's like when you go out, like you have to talk about going out too. Like you
Hmm.
obviously you don't want to like tell your roommate don't go out because like don't have fun, but at the same time you're like I don't want to die, so please don't go out. Like it's a hard topic to like discuss with a roommate, but like it's definitely something that you need to talk about.
Yeah. And a lot of that is just trusting them to be responsible with what they do.
Yeah, but I feel like it just adds a bit more stress when like living with someone else.
It's true. Very
Um,
true.
but yeah, that's something that I've talked about before. Is like making sure that your roommate knows, hey, like I'm not comfortable with you like going out like as often as you are, and then that could create like tension, but it's just another aspect to like having your roommate that we never really had to consider till now.
Hmm. Lucky for you, you don't have that problem, right?
uh Maybe my roommate may come in 2 weeks, so we'll see.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so but I'm pretty sure he won't. uh or we're probably gonna talk about it. I think we're like
Nice.
comfortable enough with each other to like address that stuff. Oh,
And we're back.
yeah, cool. Oh, and my computer made a noise. I guess we're just gonna cut that.
Nice.
um Wait, so the whole cleaning fetish thing, did that come up
Hmm.
because of the like as a direct result of like corona, or like do you just do it?
Oh, I mean, it was a culmination of a lot of things. Mainly my parents were just telling me to stay safe.
Oh, okay.
I I saw that as like a huge obligation to them. Like I know what to do to stay sanitary, so I just did it.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna go super super overboard with it too, just like wear gloves everywhere, face shield and all that shit. But it was like there's no reason, especially if you know everyone else on campus is negative. But yeah, I actually have been like just sanitizing every day, keeping my room super clean, just everything around me. Um, it's not necessarily like a good habit because it wastes a lot of time, but I think it's a good practice for sure. Just to know that like if you were to be compromised or contaminated in any way, that you could, you know what to do in order to stay sanitary.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I mean I wouldn't consider it a waste of time though.
It, it gets so excessive though. Like I literally see myself cleaning my room for like the second time in a day, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, why am I so obsessive about this?
I mean, as
Which
long
is why I personally find it a problem, but I still have time for everything else, so
yeah, as long as you have
it's
time for
not bad.
everything else, it's not a major problem at least.
Yeah.
Like if you're not getting homework done because you're cleaning, like Yeah, that's probably what it.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes by the end of this month when I start getting midterms and stuff. But I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, man. Midterms are already coming up. What the?
Oh yeah,
man.
when's your first one?
I think it's third week of September ish, because we're starting our third week, and then midterms usually happen the 5th or 6th week around there. I want to say.
Yeah, mine are on the last week of September.
Yeah.
On the 22nd.
It's kind of crazy.
I know. I just want the semester to be done with so I can get a vaccine and come back.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't
Hopefully.
know. Like, there are definite times where I'm like, holy shit, this semester's so chalked. Like, just go next. But like at the same time, like, you know, we're taking classes. Like, got to try.
Yeah, I'm still having a great time.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love being at school, especially here in the library. This is a lot of fun, but there's definitely a lot that we're missing out on.
Yeah, and it's definitely something new. Like, at least compared to like sitting at home during summer.
Exactly.
Like, that was something that I definitely felt when I moved back out here. It was just like, yeah, this is a lot different than like staying at home, and it's really nice to like do something different because everything's been so same throughout the past few months that, yeah, it's good to have a change of pace. Yeah, so in conclusion, everyone, you know, just make an effort to be better every day. Do what you can. Don't overextend yourself, but, you know, just be active. Don't sit around too much. You know, definitely helps getting through quarantine, and it helps with the mental health aspect. Just try not to be depressed, and, you know, if you personally know me and are watching this, I'm always there to talk, and you know my number, you know me on social media. I may insert a shameless plug of social media here if you want, but you know, just surround yourself with people who you could trust, people who can help you, and strive every day to be better than the last. I think that is pretty much what we've come to the conclusion, or what pretty much what we ended up agreeing upon when it comes to quarantine and maintaining mental health. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first episode. Second, maybe. Still deciding whether to upload the last up to the minute podcast. It's a little cringe, but maybe it happened when we were all in high school. So yeah,
it's iconic though.
It is. Maybe I should upload it. Who knows? All right, so that will conclude our first episode of our podcast. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget.
Don't R5 for next time.
Don't forget all that advice, and talk to you later. Thank you, Stefan, for joining us again. It's been a good talk.
Thank you for having me.
And that's a wrap. Up to the minute, episode 2.